Good morning. Oh, seriously? Let's do that again. This is a festive occasion. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's better. Congratulations. Very specifically, congratulations to our class of 2022. Also, congratulations to your friends, family, loved ones, anyone who may or may not have participated in a late night phone call about the difficulty of the many demands that we placed upon you, all the moral support and other sorts of encouragement that was integral to the process of this past year. So we say congratulations to you all as well. My name is Jelani Cobb, and I'm the Dean of Columbia Journalism School. And thank you. I'm still getting used to saying that. It sounds a little strange to me. And it's my pleasure to congratulate you on this amazing accomplishment that you all have achieved over the course of the past year. This has been a complicated year. One that has been marked by war, the ongoing pandemic and its lingering effects, massive stories like Uvalde and the mass shooting there, the ongoing manifestations of climate change. And we've seen in the midst of all this a real microcosm of the work that you all will be called to do. And in some ways, it's fitting that you all have matriculated through this school at such an eventful time. There are pressures on journalism, there are pressures on our democracy, there are pressures on our broader society, and we very much here feel that journalists have an integral role to play in democratic societies in the pursuit of freedom everywhere. And so with that in mind, we're very proud to be sending you all out into the world as representatives of the profession and as representatives of this esteemed institution. We saw just these incidents, as a matter of fact, I should mention just yesterday, and the attack we saw on Salman Rushdie, the importance of freedom of expression and just how contentious this idea of freedom of expression remains and how central it is to the work that we do. And so there is much to be done, and personally, and I know that I speak for the deans and the faculty, one of the great joys of working in this arena is to see people come in, learn, develop, acquire skills, and then the real enjoyment comes in seeing them deploy those skills out into the world in ways that you can't even imagine, and encountering people as they come back, which brings me to our keynote speaker, Colleen Chu, who is a graduate of the class of 2016 and who will be speaking with you momentarily. Colleen Chu is a documentary filmmaker and editor. For over 20 years, she has produced and co-produced long-form nonfiction films for HBO, PBS, the Learning Channel, BBC, CBC, and Channel 4 UK, with subject matter ranging from the obesity epidemic in America to gender identity in Thailand to faith healing in Nigeria. The films have been recognized for their exceptional storytelling and original content with a Royal Television Society Award, a Genesis Award, a Foreign Press Association Award for Best Documentary, a National News and Documentary Emmy, and 2 prestigious George Foster Peabody Awards. Themes of health, science, and the environment permeate much of her work. In addition to filmmaking, Colleen is a professor of practice and will be joining the Department of Film, TV, and Media at the University of Michigan this fall. She holds degrees from New York University's Tisch School of the Arts and Columbia, as I mentioned, Columbia University's Graduate School of Journalism. So can we please welcome Colleen?
Thank you.
Hey guys, congratulations. I want you to turn to the person next to you and do a high five because you totally deserve it. Oh my gosh. I have to say, you guys, I know you just turned in your stuff, right? Your stuff yesterday. So you must feel completely, do you feel completely relieved? Yeah, right? I know because I went through it. I'm sure there were tears and panic attacks and a lot of stress along the way. So congratulations, it is a huge achievement. You know what percentage of the population actually has accomplished what you guys have? A master's degree from one of the best universities, great citadel of learning, Columbia University. Do you know? Okay, don't Google that. I know, I actually Googled it myself. It's a fraction of 1%. You guys are the fraction of 1% of the world's population. So what you've accomplished and achieved is huge. So don't let anyone let you forget about it, okay? It's important, and you have to remember that when you're feeling down and bummed out and like insecure about stuff, okay? Anyway, it's a happy day. It's your day. You should get out to the beach, go to the bar, whatever you guys do to celebrate. Go for it. You know what I mean? I don't know what you do. So you should do that. But you've spent the last, what, like 10 months, a year here? Was it like 10 months? Something like that? A year? Okay. In your mind, a few years, right? You know, in Pulitzer Hall, this beautiful historic building on an amazing campus, Columbia University. I walked through and it's like everything's manicured, right? It's pristine, it's gorgeous. You've been taught by the most amazing faculty in the world, right? So you've been a little bit insulated. Am I right? A little bit insulated? Okay, yeah, right? So I want to remind you, like Jelani said, there's another reality outside this university, right? It's a little messy out there. I know because I'm not. I used to live in New York, but now I live in the Midwest. It's completely different. I don't know, is anybody here from the Midwest? Woo, okay. It's crazy there. Okay, it depends which state you live in, right? Depends which state. But anyway, it's messy. It's messy. You know, Jelani was mentioning all the crazy stuff that was happening in the world. And I actually made a list of the crazy stuff. He's already gone through it. That's okay. You know, like every morning for the past 2 weeks, I wake up, right? I have my phone there, and I get all the newsletters, which I'm sure you guys do. New York Times, Axios, Washington Post. And I've been waking up to see Alex Jones's face. Do you guys know Alex? You know Alex Jones, InfoWars, right? It's like so annoying to have Alex Jones's face like seared into my memory every morning. It's horrific, horrific. Hopefully you guys know who Alex Jones is actually. But beyond Alex Jones, what else is happening that's messy? Books are being banned, right? Books that help us understand one another and help us understand who we are. Books like Genderqueer. I don't know if you guys have read okay, some of you guys are like, yes, right? The Hate You Give. Even a Pulitzer Prize winning book. Mouse, we're in the Pulitzer Hall. Mouse is being banned in some states, right? It's crazy, you wouldn't think. What else is going on? Muslim hate, Asian hate, police violence, too many names to even remember. States are fighting protections for trans youth. Did you guys know that? And at a time when 41%, I think it's 41% of trans youth attempt suicide. Not just think about it, but attempt suicide. It's horrific. I mean, that should not be high. I would never think that people would try to ban protections for youth. It's crazy. And of course, what else? Women's autonomy over their own bodies getting whittled away, right? So all this messy stuff is happening. It's crazy. But I don't want to get you down, right? Jelani got you down before. It's like, don't want to get you down because it's your happy day. So I'm going to tell you a little story because that's what we do, right? Journalists, they tell stories. Okay. So I was getting my MA here, like Jelani said, like seven years ago. Oh my gosh, 7 years ago. And at the time, I was actually working on a film at the same time I was getting I got my MA in science. So I was a little bit nuts because I had kids, I was raising kids, I was working on the film, I was doing an MA film, and it was crazy. And I was commuting like 4 hours a day. It was insane. I was a crazy person, crazy. But anyway, this film that I was working on, I was really passionate about, super passionate about, so I made it through Columbia just barely. I like slipped by. And what it was is a story about two guys, two brothers, Manuel and Valente Valenzuela, brothers, right, who were both volunteered and fought in the Vietnam War. They were highly decorated soldiers. Anyone would call them, if they saw them and met them and saw their decorations, they would know that these guys were American heroes. And yet, after 5 decades, 50 years, almost 60 years actually, of being in this country, they were being deported by the US government. Service, sacrifice, bullet wounds, PTSD, right, being deported. I don't know if you guys have heard about the deportation of military veterans. Some of you are saying yes, but I'm sure for some of you it's a totally new thing. For me, when I first heard it, me and my partner, we were shocked. We were like, nah, that can't be happening here. That's totally ridiculous. You know, these guys aren't legit. Maybe they just want like attention, you know, because some people like attention, right? So maybe they're like making this shit up. Sorry, I'm cursing. So, is that okay? You're fine with it. You're gonna be used to it. Okay. So anyway, so what we did, like all journalists do, is you get out there, right? You fact check. I contacted military, looked at DD-214s, looked at records, talked to attorneys, the whole bit. And then we realized, oh my God, this is actually happening. It's crazy. You know, crazy. Who would think? So we were really passionate, but what is more important is Manuel, the younger brother, his mission was to save these deported veterans, even though he was going to be one of them, right? So he had this nutty idea, totally insane idea. First of all, poor, Chicano, uneducated, disabled. Right? Talk about starting here with very little, right? He had this crazy idea. He was gonna go get an RV because he didn't own one. He was gonna get like a beat up used RV, which he did, plaster across the side pictures of him and his brother and the words, "Stop the deportation of US military veterans." He was gonna drive across country to Washington, DC, and he was gonna ask, or tell, because he's like crazy, tell President Trump, because Trump was the president at the time, to stop the deportation of US military veterans. That was his plan. Could you imagine? Chicano, poor, uneducated, disabled, going to Washington, D.C. to see President Trump saying, yo, President Trump, that's not cool. You gotta stop that's fool's errand, right? Fool's errand. Everybody thought, you know what, Manuel, you're nuts, you're crazy, you can't do that. And he's a grunt, he's a Marine. His job, actually, he was the guy who would jump out of the helicopter behind enemy lines, to help out the dudes who were pinned down, fighting. His job to go behind there and grab those guys, living or dead, and bring them back home to their families. So his whole life and his whole philosophy was, I am not leaving anyone behind. Leave no soldier behind. That's a motto. I don't remember if that's a motto of the Marines or the Army. But it's a military motto, okay? Leave no soldier behind. So he was not going to leave any soldier behind. So he was like, yo, I'm going to do it. This is crazy. This is the right thing. And so for us as journalists, you know, that passion rubs off on you. And if you know you're doing the right thing and the story is strong and you have the characters and it's dramatic and it's the truth and there are facts behind it, you just go with it, right? You just go with it. Now, the thing is so we started making this film, and you know what? We thought in our heads, brilliant story, great story, who, you know, has all the elements. And we were rejected. Frontline rejected us. HBO rejected us. All funding sources, crazy, rejected us. Over and over and over again. It was really depressing. It was like so disheartening. But the thing is, we had the passion, right? That's really important for you guys to remember. It's passion. The guys had the passion, we had the passion. So in spite of all that rejection, which you guys are gonna, I'm sorry to say this, but you will experience it at some point. You have to go like this, you know? That's just distraction. So along the way, something really great happened. The ACLU got wind that we were doing this film, and so they invited us to Washington, D.C. to do a congressional briefing. And it's really nerve-wracking, you guys, because indie doc filmmakers, June knows this, indie doc filmmakers rarely get invited to the Congress to do a congressional briefing. Like, it just doesn't happen, right? And it was very nerve-wracking because you're in this building, they give you like 15 minutes, and it's this beautiful building, you know, panels and the whole 9 yards, and you have no idea who's in the audience. Like right now, I know you guys are students graduating. I know you guys are family. But when you're in Congress, you don't know who you're talking to. It could be aides, could be Congress people, lobbyists, I don't know, right? So we go there, we do our song and dance, we do our facts, we do talk about legislation, you know, and then we show clips of deported veterans telling their stories. And I gotta tell you, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Not a dry eye, because it's moving and emotional. And as journalists, especially filmmakers, you're gonna wanna tap into that emotion of your characters, right? So we left there like, man, we're pumped. Something's gonna happen. This is gonna be great, you know? And so we went home and we were waiting for something to happen and calling the ACLU and looking in the newspaper, and nothing happens. And it's really depressing. And I'm like, oh shit, like seriously? Okay. But you keep going because it's the right thing to do, and it's the story, right? Again, it's like passion. So we finished the film. It turned out pretty good. PBS wanted it, so they decided to give us a primetime national common carriage broadcast. So that is a really big deal for an indie doc filmmaker. Not only is it primetime, but what it means is it's broadcast on every single station on PBS across the country during prime time. So that's kind of a big deal for us. But it was incredible because more than that, they were like, yo, we're gonna do it on Veterans Day, prime time. Okay? Veterans Day. What do we do on Veterans Day, you guys? We celebrate our veterans. We thank our veterans, right? We don't say, man, we don't deport our veterans. We thank them, right? Crazy. So we were so excited. The brothers were so excited to hear about this. It was like dream come true for a filmmaker, especially when you've been rejected like 100 times. You know, finally pays off, passion pays off. But what's incredible about this story is that a few weeks after it was announced on PBS, right, because the schedule comes out months earlier. So this was over this last summer. This was just last summer. So I think it was a few weeks, maybe it was 1 month after, you know, you're getting your press materials together, you're kind of like, everybody knows that it's going to happen. There was an administration change, right? Biden is in the White House. And he, after we have this press come out, announces that he is ordering Homeland Security to stop the deportation of military veterans. And not only that, he goes a step further and he says, yo, you know what? Let's bring him back home. Yeah! Victory! Victory! Right? Unbelievable, remarkable, could never have imagined. Never have imagined. But we always knew that was the right thing to do, right? So what does this tell us? This tells us that democracy, no matter how messy it is, because it's messy, and how old it is, and how slow it is, because it's slow, it can work. And it does work. You have to remember that. You remember the victories. Don't always get caught up in like the depressing stuff, right? But more importantly for you guys is that journalism can make measurable change. And I'm not saying that this film, it was just this film. Of course, it was the brothers, it was, you know, activists, it was legislatures. But without a national primetime broadcast about deported veterans on Veterans Day, I don't know if that, I think that might have pushed. Yes, it did? All right, pushed it over. So journalism is critical to a healthy democracy. Do you guys understand that? What you guys do, what you'll be doing, is precious, precious. And not only is it precious, we are the lucky ones, you know, because we get to do this. So what is it that we actually do? Do you guys know what we do? You guys know what we do. Yeah, we fact check. Yeah, we find stories and we write a little and we shoot a little and we edit and we data mine. We do all that shit, right? But what is it that we truly do? We educate, right? You guys are educators, not just us, teachers. You guys, journalists, educate, and you elucidate. And why do we do what we do? And we've all chosen to do it. We do it in service of others, right? So that others can make informed decisions based on fact and truth about their lives, their families' lives, their community, and their nation. Like I said, journalism is essential to a healthy democracy, right? And the best journalism, and I know you guys can do this, can inspire and empower. Seriously, right? Absolutely, 100%. You can inspire and empower. How awesome is that? It is, and you guys can do it, and you will do it, okay? So I'm really happy today, even though I don't know all of you guys, right? I'm thrilled to be here. I am really happy to be here. I don't know if you guys know that, but I am really happy to be here because it means that you guys have chosen to be here, which means that you've chosen to join the fight. And believe me, it is a fight right now. You guys, it is a fight, right? Alex Jones, it is a fight, okay? You know what I'm talking about. So what is it a fight for? Okay, it's a fight for memory against forgetting. That's very important, that's history. Your dean started in history. It's critical, memory against forgetting. It's truth against falsehood and lies. Okay, you know this. It's understanding against ignorance. That's the fight. But I'm not worried about this fight so much because I know you guys have the weapons to take up this fight. You have learned from the best professors how to do it. I know you just did it by handing in your thesis yesterday, right? Am I right? So there's this Bible quote, and I'm totally not religious, you guys, but I think they got it right. Too much is given, much is expected. You are the fraction of a percent who went to an Ivy League, taught by the best professors in the world. So we expect a lot from you, but don't let that stress you out because I know you can do it. You can, okay? The insecurity that you're gonna be feeling when you leave here, because some of you guys are going back to your countries or going back home, wherever you're going, you're gonna leave this beautiful Ivy League school in the wealthiest city in the world. And you might be stepping into something messy. And you might start to feel insecure, you know, am I gonna get that job? Can I pay my student loan? Sorry, I just took out student loans for my kids, so, okay. But worst of all, am I good enough? Am I good enough? There's that little voice always, am I good enough? You're good enough. That little voice telling you that is a distraction. Distraction. Don't be distracted by that stuff. It's just stuff. Be focused. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, okay, you guys, I never do speeches, like I just don't, I don't know. It's like nerve-wracking other than teaching. And so I'm gonna leave you with a quote because I Googled it and they said, oh, speeches have quotes. I'm like, oh, great. I know, right? I was like, great. I'm like not that bright. I'm like, have a terrible memory. Hence, I have this little card here. I have a terrible memory. Oh, and I'm not deep. I'm like not the deepest person, right? So I'm gonna leave you a quote with from a punk rock band that I loved in high school. Okay, okay. Punk rock band, The Clash, 70s and 80s. Do you guys know who The Clash? Yeah, all right, The Clash. So maybe you know what I'm gonna leave you with, right? Joe Strummer, one of the best lead men of all time, wrote, "The future is unwritten. The future is unwritten." And it's a great philosophy. It is a great philosophy to live by no matter how old you are or where you come from, okay? Because it means that you are in charge of your own futures. Not only your own futures, but the future of everything around you, especially journalists, okay? So the future is unwritten. You get it? You get it, right? Keep that in there. And those times when you're distracted by that little voice saying, am I good enough? Am I going to get that job? Future is unwritten. Future is yours. Okay? Now, okay, this is my last piece of advice. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Don't vacillate. Don't waver in your convictions as a human being and as a journalist. Okay? Don't waver. It's easy to waver. But most of all, don't procrastinate. All your teachers are laughing like, oh my God, that's what they do all the time. You know, procrastination is so easy. Procrastination is the easiest thing to do, but it doesn't make tomorrow any easier, right? It probably makes it harder. And you guys want to do the hard thing. You want to do the tough thing. That is why you are sitting in those seats, because you have decided to do that. So don't forget about it. So the future is unwritten. Get out there and go do what you guys do, which is write, film, et cetera, data mine, okay? And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. I really can't. So congratulations, class of 2022. You so should have a great day.
Thank you for that inspiring speech, Colleen. So I'm here to introduce our dean team on the stage. Before I do that, I'm going to do a quick roll call, which is ask how many of you are doc students? And how many of you are data in the data program? Yeah, how many of you are MA candidates? Okay, all right. Small but mighty. How many of you are MS candidates? All right. Okay. I'm new. I'm new as a dean. I have these ideas, and nobody listens to me yet, and so because I proposed a dance-off between the MS and the MA students, and they said that wouldn't fly. But next year, I'll keep at it. Next year we will have a dance-off. And so I'm happy to have with us to handle the business of giving out the degrees our academic dean, Winnie O'Kelly, and our dean of student life, John Haskins. And so you all have been to graduations before, you know this whole procession. So we are going to, Dean Haskins is going to read off your names, and Dean O'Kelly will give you your degree, which is not actually your degree, but we promise we're actually good for it, and I will just be here to shake hands and try not to look too awkward. And so we can get the show on the road.
All right, y'all ready now? I get to give you one last set of instructions. So as you are directed to come to the stage, you will hand me a piece of paper. I will pronounce your names. Let's see if I do it correctly. Be very careful. We don't want you to end by stumbling here. You will cross the stage, you will receive your envelope, and don't forget, after you leave the stage, again, watch your step. You will stand in front of the screen there for your official photograph. So, being herded one last time here. So we're going to start here by presenting the graduates of the Masters of Arts in Journalism. Again, thank you for inspiring. From London, the UK, Jem Bartholomew. I would normally ask you to hold your applause, but there aren't that many of you, so we can go ahead and applause. Been practicing. From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Natasha Ribeiro. Now, if we could ask Jonathan Soma, Tammy Luby, and Drumal Mehta to come to the stage for the awarding of the Data journalism degrees. Remember, if you wrinkle the paper, you don't graduate. From New York, New York, Richard Inakwe Abe. Don't fight. You'll all get your degrees at the end of the... From Gaborone, Botswana, Joel Kanopo. From Accra, Ghana, Stephen Anti.
Nigeria.
Okay, it says from New York, New York,
No.
and Nigeria, Kunle Falayi. From Ningbo, China, Chuxin Qiang. Now we're getting going. From Madrid, Spain, Patricia Martinez Sastre. From Metro Manila, Philippines, Prince Magtulis. From Tokyo, Japan, now Hideka Kato. +1. From New York, New York, Vincent Van Buskirk. From Detroit, Michigan, Shelby Jopi. From New York, New York, Susan Miriam. From Copenhagen, Denmark, Sarah Grevy Gottfredsen. Okay. From Mumbai, India, Misha Vade. From Atlanta, Georgia, Jesse Blazer. From Cupertino, California, Elena Peng. From New York, New York, Julia Megan Ingram. From Lucknow, India, Arena Aurora. Okay. From okay. From Cupertino, California, Zoe Suarte. From Hyderabad, India, Harsha Duvalapalli. Give them time. Oh, we have a little pile up here. So now for the presentation of the Masters of Science. From Evry, France, Jesse Damba Diamba. From New York, New York, Anna Grazulis. Now if we could ask Brian Palmer, June Cross, and Thor Newrider to the stage to help award the Masters of Journalism in Documentary. From Lahore, Pakistan, Mohammed Shakib Asrar. From Charlotte, North Carolina, Ayana Janae Bryant. From Chennai, India, Anna Malhotra. From Yinchuan, China, Boya Sun. From Mexico City, Mexico, Jean Shapiro. From Vapi, India, Rajvi Desai. From Johor Bahru, Malaysia, Sanjna Selva. From Sparta, New Jersey, Brendan McInerney. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Amon Bartholomew Stewart. From Pasadena, California, Michael Flores. From Wichita Falls, Texas, Evan Michael Solis. From Piscataway, New Jersey, Tashima Anusha Brennan. From Atlanta, Georgia, Amira Williams. From Los Angeles, California, Tavleen Tarrant. From Los Angeles, California, Lauren Townsley.
Now, are you going to sing happy birthday, but you're actually off mic, John?
Oh, okay. I assume
Oh, from the Bronx.
from the Bronx, Arlene Otis David Schulman, whose birthday may or may not be today. From Bombay, India, Fida Hussein Yamani.
Can we have one last round of applause for our graduates? So congratulations to all of you. We're all very proud of you. And for everyone, you are invited to a reception, which is right in the World Room on the other side of this corridor. And so come and celebrate. All right, take care.